Dr. Lonnie Levin. I'm a PhD. I got my PhD in genetics, and we're right now in Cornell Medical College, Weill Cornell Medical College. Our goal is to get drugs and therapeutics for treating diseases and treating new diseases and finding out how some existing therapeutics that are out there, how they work. That's some of the applied research we do. We also do a great deal of basic science where we're not thinking as much about the drug or a therapeutic yet, but we're just trying to find out how things work. Your day is filled with, it's filled with experiments, sometimes with reading, sometimes with computer work. For example, now we just started studying something a little bit strange for a medical college, but we started studying coral. Now that there's global warming in the world and everybody's worried about CO2 in the air, the fact is the CO2 in the ocean is actually increased more than everywhere it is in the air. And so one of the organisms that's responsible for half the oxygen generation on our planet are these microorganisms that live in the ocean. Among them are corals and algae that live inside corals. And we asked, does in fact the coral respond differently when there's more or less carbon dioxide dissolved in the water? So right now the oceans have some percent of CO2 in it, and with global warming it's predicted that that amount of CO2 dissolved in the ocean will in fact double in the next 100 years. So we take coral, break them open and measure this enzyme and say, if we give it twice as much CO2 as it's used to seeing, will that affect the coral that live in the ocean? And some of the experiments we have now, it seems like it will. It seems like the amount of CO2 that's in the ocean that these corals are exposed to may make them sick. And so if these things die out, you'll not be able to have sushi for dinner anymore, and you'll never have fish. And once land animals start to die, our diet starts to change, and our quality of life starts to change, and in fact our ability to survive might change. And that's my daughter Jessica. She's 3 years old. She's probably 2.5 in that picture. That's the reason why I try and save the world, for that generation.